Hi everyone, this is Monica Warren and you're watching the 4th grade science constructed response norming video for CA2. If you look at the screen here, over to the left hand side is a blank copy of the test key and the rubric. So I'll bring down the rubric so that we have it to look at on this side, and then on the other side I have the exemplar response that is written on and graded to show you. So the first question is a weather map question, and what it asks scholars to do is, in complete sentences, to explain why the city on the map has clear sky conditions. And so what scholars will need to be able to do is they only have to list one reason, but they need to clearly explain why that city has those clear sky conditions. So it could be that it's near a high pressure system, that it's located near a cold air mass, or that it's located behind a cold front. Here's an example that would get full points. Part A is worth just that 1 point, and so the example that's listed here has several responses that the scholar could write down. They only need to note one of them for the full point. So Part B asks them in complete sentences to ask why it's useful to know about the movement of weather fronts. So this question, there are a lot of different things that scholars can say. What we really want scholars to do is to note that it's useful to be able to predict the weather, and that they actually mention some aspect of the weather like cold fronts or temperatures or storms. This one has to do with like reading weather maps and being able to predict upcoming weather. What we don't want is for scholars to simply say something like, because it's good to know about weather, or because I don't like cold weather. They need to be a little bit more specific than that. They need to note two different reasons. They'll get 1 point for each of them, and then overall for Part A and Part B, if scholars gave their answers in complete sentences, I get notes down here, you give them the 1 additional point for a total of 4 points for number 1. For number 2, this has to do with these thermometers being in water, and water is being heated up, and then the thermometers show the rise in the temperature. So for number 2, it's worth a total of 8 points, and here's an example of what would get full points. They will need to interpret the thermometers and then place the information into the table as it's noted in the question. So they'll need to put under time in minutes 0 through 8, because that's what it has right down here under the thermometers. They'll need to write in the word temperature, and that will get them 1 additional point on the other side of the table. They need to write in degrees Celsius. Now they can either do that behind temperature, or they can write it behind all the temperatures here, and that will get them 1 point. The last 5 points comes from interpreting the thermometers correctly. So at 0 minutes right here, where is the thermometer listed? It's listed at 20 degrees Celsius. They get 1 point for that, and they get 1 point for each of these afterwards. One thing to note is that the temperatures can be plus or minus 1 degree. If they are plus or minus 1 degree, you can still give the extra point. They will need to refer back to the evidence and estimate where the temperature would fall between 2 and 4 minutes. So between 2 and 4 minutes, they get a total of 3 points for this question. If they indicate that the temperature would be 29 degrees Celsius, they get a point for that. The extra 2 points down here comes from the second question that says, explain how you estimated this temperature. So they need to say something along the lines of, this is my estimation because over 2 minutes there's a 6 degree increase, so every 1 minute has 3 degrees. They need to be able to indicate that 29 degrees is between 26 and 32, and that's why they added the 3 degrees Celsius. So you can see here I added 1 point to this because they indicate that they're looking between 2 and 4 minutes, and then 1 point because they said they added 3 degrees Celsius to 26 degrees Celsius. So that is the last question on the CA. If you have any questions, You can post them on the discussion board, and I will get back to you, or the CTL will get back to you as soon as possible. Thank you.